afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda here of Strike, Defender of the Fatherland. Bit off here to 1 vs 1. On Holotny Farmer, but in West we got Captain S. Price fighting here for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, so Reich. Taking on the role here of the 3rd Panzergrenadier Division, versus, by the way, here the Jaeger Infantry. Bit of an old school doctrinal choice here versus in East Frost. The Shock Rifle, Shock Army, Shock Motor, shocking display of doctrines from Frost, fighting over the Soviet Union. And the 4th Mechanized Corps, fighting for socialism, the motherland. Bulletins here for Panzergrenadiers Infantry versus Infantry and Molotovs there for Price. Got a southern move here with the conscripts engineers there for Frost. In the west we got Grenadiers and MD-42s here for Price and the 3rd Panzergrenadier Division. But certainly Jaeger Infantry, not a very commonly seen doctrine. Of course it does offer ambush camouflage, G43s, tactical movement, artillery barrages, and Stuka close air support. All good abilities really. It's just most people at the moment prefer call-ins, so just seeing someone who actually chooses a doctrine with 0 call-ins is already there. Pretty unique there, to be honest. But in the south here, conscripts moving ahead, engineers laying up some barbed wire. They got conscripts heading northwards there, 3rd. Conscripts got on the way for Frost and the 3rd Mechanized Corps. Sandbags here to help Price fighting around the centre of the map. You also got barbed wire here around the front door. Yeah, Otto, if he fires the front of the doors, it can't teleport through it. Teleport where? What are you talking about, Ludwig? Stalinist magic. Are you alright, Ludwig? Maybe. There you go, conscripts. It seems like here Price about what I want to do in this case, though. Frost rush ahead. They might be able to get to the house before. No, the Grenadiers get in there. The powers of the Reich propel them through the air into the house. Otto, yeah, what just happened? We entered the house, but yeah, we were outside, and then we were inside. What happened? Don't think about it too much, Friedrich. Don't think about it too much. MD-4 taking northwards there. We got Pioneers moving here for the cut-off point. Price going in aggressive there. We got 4th conscript away there for Frost. The 3rd Grenadiers got there for Price. There's some adduction there from Frost, though. Either way, he's going to be able to get up shock troopers. That seems to be sort of the common theme here, which overall aren't that commonly utilised, but seems to be making a slight comeback alongside conscript heavy builds. So who knows? But otherwise, not so much else there so far. I mean, if heavy conscript builds, I mean, he could go for sure with shock army, shock machine guns, heavy mortars, all that could work with it. Shock motor and theory could also work, and theory could also just go for shock rifle. I mean, they all sort of work in different ways. Sandbags being dark here around the car point to help defend. Pioneers trying to get out of the fuel point, but they might risk being wiped out. Noting by the way, Sandbags here, good job by Frost in the south, conscript territory, and up north here, another conscript squad digging around Price's northern fuel point, or victory point. There. Point there with short, MD-42 hanging up here. Pioneers sent running by angry conscripts. Unable to secure the fuel point for the fatherland, or at least desecure it against the Russians. Now, we got Molotovs also by here in the early game for Frost, ensuring that his conscript can quickly flush out any Germans in cover, and that way gain an edge. Conscript moving up for the west, we got a Grenadier squad here holding up behind an old truck, ready to withstand the Russians up north here. Grenadiers sneaking about. Barbed wire here to further ensure that Price can't make use of the cover here. Very good work there by Frost. He could also consider some mines around here, for example, making it harder for Price to actually harass the car point. Overall, the Frost are moving about here and there. Some units seem to be on defensive duty. They could, of course, I think, apply more pressure up north. And meanwhile, we got here and medics up there for Frost. Still no doctrine for Price. We have take up there for the fatherland for the German army. It's the 3rd Panzergrenadier Division. We got Malta against double Grenadiers. In this case, a bit too far off, but still, it's going to be great for him if it sort of landed properly. But at least for some match, they're getting some free shots in. But ultimately, the conscripts have to retreat here. They simply cannot deal with 2 Grenadier squads unless they actually, got a better hit with Molotov, maybe and got some luck off. But in this case, though, no such luck. Conscripts sneaking about here. We got fighting in the south. The conscripts pushing forward against the Grenadiers here. Molotov here could do a lot of good. Conscripts flagging up behind them as well, or perhaps just moving for other territories. Molotov here would be pretty great for Frost and flashing out the Grenadiers, but so far seems uninteresting. We also got G43s going up here for Price pretty rapidly. Certainly cheaper than light machine guns, also offers more firepower in the move, but overall doesn't quite offer the same level of firepower at longer ranges. But up close or medium ranges does offer some improvement, plus again, more maneuverable with the weapon. Can of course also open up here for ambush camouflage if he chooses to go for that one. You got Conscripts holding up, they got Pioneers rushing forward with flamethrowers here to burn out those Russians. Conscripts are in a bit of trouble. Slowly burning them away. Pioneers they need to retreat by the way. Quickly focused down here by Frost's hardened Frontovics. You got the Grenadiers reinforcing, getting ready with the G43s up north here. Grenadiers just waiting about there. We got Mines going down there. Got mining by Frost. Overall now having a big fat chunk of the map there compared to Price and the 3rd Panzer Grenadier Division. Troops are reinforcing rapidly. And there we go. Grenadiers charging forward there with the G43s. Getting some damage in, there you go, popping out. In this case, turns out the barbed wire doesn't quite work. They can still sort of jump through it again. That's sort of the thing. You can't really sort of really successfully block an entrance. But people will essentially always try. They will always try to, you know, make it happen. That's sort of a fun one there. Conscripts there being pushed back. Grenadiers pushing forward against the conscripts. Molotov here would deny cover. At the same time, there you go, just overwhelmed, not condition. More Pioneers from way there for Price, which by the way could have gone for, say, a Panzer Grenadier squad first, maybe some light vehicles, but instead opts for an additional Pioneer squad at this very moment. An interesting choice there. He's also getting closer to the medic bunker. Grenadiers occupying the centre. Others in southwards, and Fort remains here. Price actually got a lot of units basically doing nothing. He seems probably a bit defensive here versus Frost. While he's gone for shock rifles. That's actually shock rifle versus Jaeger infantry. This is a very old school matchup, if you will. Two of the original doctrines going up against each other. So that's pretty interesting, to put it mildly. You got a maximum on the way there for Frost, so it's gone for support weapon companier. You can see here that Price in the process of burning down the church. Probably not because he's worried about Pioneers and he wasn't paying attention to what Frost's doctrines were, in which case he might assume there were parts and doctrines there. More likely he's just doing it to deny Frost an opportunity to watch over the area here. There you go, push towards the centre here, or north. Molotov flashing out the MD42 there. Good attack here by Frost. At the same time, a bit of pressure in the centre. Pioneers with flamethrowers up Grenadiers as well. MD42 repositioning. More Grenadiers being about here. And we also got ambush camouflage right here on the Grenadier squad as well. Good use for quite some effect. They're Grenadiers back in from the north as well. Pushing back their Frost assault. Not enough support weapons there to make it sort of really work out. Frost following up there with a mortar for some light support. That will definitely be great though versus the MD42. Either just bombarding it or smoking, in which case you can just rush up with a Conscript squad and then Molotov it that way, for example. So a mortar I think is a really good choice here for Frost. You got Max versus the Pioneers trying with the flamethrower. They do have heavy cover there, so the Max might actually have to pull back. We need to sort of get the units up this flank. The problem is they're going to use the act to keep them a bit behind cover. Grenadiers hiding up here. Nice and ambushed up. Grenadiers visiting with Conscript tank over the northern victory point. Maxim wiped. It looks like Frost wasn't paying attention. That's quite unfortunate there for him. That's a full loss there. At the same time, they're setting up trip flare mines there. Good work there. And we got Panzer Grenadier here for Price. And the German army got the Grenadiers shifting position. Malta moving up. Mine goes off. They're killing a few Grenadiers. And Conscripts moving up as well here. There's still nothing from the doctrine compared to the Price so far. He used two abilities of his doctrine. That is, he's used the ambush camouflage and he's used the G43s. So, in that regard, I mean, obviously the shock troops manpower was a lot more expensive than just these two relatively cheap upgrades. I mean, ambush camouflage is about 30 munitions, that's 45 munitions. So altogether, you're only paying 50 munitions more than, say, in an LMG-42. After that push back by the MD42, Grenadiers heading up here ready to repel any central assault. But still, Frost has got a lot of the map. He just needs to be careful, you know, doesn't get too greedy and begins making mistakes. I mean, that's where, you know, good mortar is, I think, quite vital to ensure more freedom of movement for his infantry. And again, smoking the machine gun here, I think, would be the strongest choice right there for Frost. Then rush it with the conscripts, with Molotovs, forcing it out of the house at the very least. And that way, you know, sort of just making an easier target. Panzer Grenadiers on the way. Going for ambush camouflage as well there. Players, I think, I see a lot of ammo players, if they do go for sort of anything with ambush camouflage, they tend to apply it mostly to the machine guns, but also the Panzer Grenadiers, because the Panzer Grenadier squad sort of opening up for ambush, besides, you know, getting the ambush camouflage, can also fire from a more sort of preferred range. So in that regard, ambush camouflage with Panzer Grenadiers tends to be a very sort of effective choice. Needs to move up the mortar. That is way too far behind there to actually give any assistance to his troops right there. So Frost needs to get moving up in again. Smoke the machine gun. Smoke the machine gun, Frost. So far, no sign of that. We got to take up here for Frost. Mortar firing away here. I mean, now it can support, but again, it could really support against what he probably would deal with, which was the machine gun. So in that regard, again, mortar way too far behind.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Soldiers ready.
And it is handing out. There we go. Ambush camouflage. In this case, it doesn't have up much there versus the conscript side of the house, but had been coming up through here, it would have been a lot more effective. It would have been a lot more effective. I mean, those conscript probably suffered a few immediate losses there. Got the mortar there firing away. Now much closer to the front line. Canadians shifting position, seeing the thump of the mortar. And the T-70 is almost down there for Frost.
Light tank ready for orders.
Still not sound the shock troops. I mean, he could consider some. Don't be a bad idea, though they are, of course, expensive. But again, you get your sort of money's worth if you handle them correctly. Canadians holding up here. No ambush camouflage there. Panzer Grenadiers there. Back for reinforcements. Still no medic bunker upgrade. And we got the T-70 moving out here. Looks like taking a slightly southern path. In this case, Price is actually unprepared for it. He's got no mines down. And he's got no anti-tank weapons either. So in that regard, a well-handled T-70 from Frost would be quite devastating to Price, really. But of course, Frost might be worried, you know, Price is actually ready for it, so he's going to take a bit more of a cautious approach with his light tank to ensure he doesn't just, you know, throw away 200 manpower and 70 fuel. There we go, we got the shock troops out here with their PPSH-41s, their body armor, and their satchels filled with grenades. Grenadiers versus conscripts, T-70 Northwards. Rushing about here, Grenadiers going away. Puts a little bit of a retreat pop, get some kills in there. Looks like they're going to patch past off, but definitely potential for a wipe. Quite a loss there to Price if that happens. More Grenadiers going up. Ah, lucky Price there, lucky. Frost T-70 falling back there with Indian damage. And meanwhile, though, making progress in the Northwards, the assault here has actually forced Price to abandon all of his territories, meaning Frost can right now secure a lot of territory if he realises the current situation of Price's force. So third mechanized corps here having a bit of a breakthrough here. Shock troops moving through the south there. Ready to deal with any fascists. With grenades and smoke if need be. We got Zapoma called up for Price, and we got a Stug right away here. So he's actually been planning for sort of a rush there towards it, going for a very sort of light tier 2 to sort of try and rush out Stug, it seems, and that's definitely, you know, one of the ways. I mean, if you're rushing up tier 3, I mean, again, and you got absolutely no other than to tank, you have to go for Stug first. I mean, he could have tried to stay up for the Austrian, but in this case, the Stug, I think, is a pretty solid choice. Well, ambush camouflage for his remaining troops would be a bad choice either. The MD-42, I think, could also benefit from it a bit there. We got more G-43s there for Price's hardened Grenadiers. Consequently towards the centre, we got their mines down here as well for Frost. A lot of spots their mine. Morton got no better, you know, supportive position. Frost still maintaining good map control versus Price. Grenadiers taking northwards into the conscripts. Could do with some more mines in the northern half of the map, by the way. Lay down some flare trip mines and likes. Smoke screen on the centre here. Bit late though, but not a bad idea. Theory. In this case, it ends up aiding Price's Grenadiers more than Frost's infantry, so that didn't quite work out. I mean, he's attack rounding and trying to catch. In this case, though, the wreckage of the Panzer IV is actually shielding Price's Grenadiers, but he ends up actually retreating then, unless worried about, of course, a full-up regular mortar strike. Guards retreating, having suffered heavy losses here at the hands of Price's Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadier moving northwards, and we got the Stug out here, Stug 3G. Setting out. Mines go down here around the car front, good work. And Frost is going for a field gun here to help deal with Price's armoured forces. Shock was just moving about here in the south, ready to sort of ambush anyone. You might want to actually sort of try and hide about a bit here down here so you can actually sort of that way surprise them, and that way sort of get closer with the shock troops in the first place. But while they're destroyed, Panzer Grenadiers heading out. Still nothing for the MD-42. You'd think he'd actually go for the MD-42 first, but none of that. And there you go, Grenadiers up north here trying to grab the victory point away from Frost. He's quickly engaged here by the T-70 light tank. Losses rapidly being inflicted here by the 45mm gun of the T-70 light tank. Stug 3G rolling hit. Panzer was ready to support if needed, but the first grabbing the munitions. Price fighting for every scrap of territory he's got here. And there you go, Stug lands a good hit with its 75mm cannon on the T-70 light tank. Also wrecking a ruin. You got more pioneers away there for Price. Looks like he suffered some losses there. Shock troops running about in the south still. I do think, I mean, Frost could sort of launch either a big assault through here, try and launch an attack through here, and then at the same time attack through here. Nice hit there with the mortar, though, but overall, he's, I think, you know, being a bit too passive. He's always got a lot of territory, but otherwise, he doesn't, I think, quite have the force for sort of much defensive play. So, you know, trying to think benefit a bit more from actually being a bit more aggressive, but again, not attacking through the centre, sort of trying to overwhelm Frost using his superior numbers. But oh well. We've got Shocks dealing with the Grenadiers, defending the fuel point there, and almost got them there. Light machine guns going through some of the Grenadiers, or submachine guns. Pioneers being pushed back in the centre by the conscripts. Price certainly feeling the pressure from Frost. Just looking like he's going to try and break through the north. He's got a lot of conscripts plus the field gun there. And before two, they're opening up, could smoke it out with the mortars. Saying it's going to just regular bombard it. And Price is already positioning it. I was actually firing at the Pantherman is up north here. With the ambush camouflage. Took a hit there but not dead, but he might have to retreat them right then and there. They're rather low on health. Shock Trooper sneaking up from behind here, finds some bit of flanking action there from Frost. He's also almost got the resources here, by the way, for the IS-2. He's actually just not got the command points for it. That's his slight problem here. Quick grenade. He's trying to grenade the retreat path, in this case too slow, and there go the MD-42 saves the day. Also now with ambush camouflage. Up north here, breakthrough with the T-70, quickly catching Price off guard there. A lot of action here. Grenadiers trying to check for the centre confident. They can't hold it off even with a Molotov. They're not going to last here. Stuben getting the T-70 field gun ready, but not quite. Flame for a tank available here. Does he call it in? Briefly look like it. He's trying to catch the T-70 with his Stube because he self-repairs here on Frost T-70 light tank. Bit risky, they're rushing in the Stube like that. I mean, one more move and that Stube is going to go down, but seems like Price really wants that light tank burning. Taking a direct hit there from the field gun. And then the south, some progress. Centre work's going to need to retreat there. And Frost has lost the counter-scope there. Not good for Frost. And anti-tank grenades up there for Frost's infantry. A lot of mines here, actually. That's a lot of mines there for Frost. Well, I'm surprised he hasn't laid down any mines around the south, really. I mean, there's a lot more exposed territory where it might more good, but I think that's on the flare trip mines. More engineers for Frost. Stube they need repairs as well. We've got the Pioneers on the job. Ambush camouflage there for more Frost troops alongside D-33s. And we got the Austrian for Price, the Flak Panzer. Pioneers sneaking about there. Fixing up the T-70 light tank. Mortar there being reinforced.
Taking what we have secured.
One enemy secured, and big push here. Country trying to deal with it. Mortar once more, not within range, actually supported because it's back in the base. I think we've been helpful here. Country they need to retreat too, and they're getting an awful lot of angry Germans. They're moving ahead. Quickly moving up to cut off the retreat path of the conscripts. They're going to retreat path. The T's moving up. There gets got hit. 2-1. Field bombarding as well. He's really trying to punish it. Price for actually blowing up there, and he doesn't quite get the light they needed to do so. We got the Strooping up Grenadiers as well, right through the artillery fire there from the field gun. We got the Osmond out here for Price as well. In the centre there, Shock Troops here. Could, I think, rush forward and deal with the Grenadiers there. Just smoke screen down first, there we go, and then move ahead. We'll just smoke and not bother. Grenadiers are straight into the mines to rush down the field gun there. And there we go, we got the Osmond striking. The 13mm flak does not care about such things as body armour. Petrov, the body armor, he does nothing! There you go, field gun firing away there, close to it, 2-1. And that's access to tracking, and there we go, it can now see a bit further if we choose to do so. Price quickly building up his armoured arsenal, whereas Frost is clearly setting up for the IS-2 at this point. The problem is just it gives Price more time to bring up more stuff, so by the time he gets out the IS-2, the situation might actually be looking differently. So in this regard, Frost might have to consider bringing out an HN6 or at least something else in the meanwhile, otherwise very much risk of lying here. Price I think a good chance of a comeback. Field gun there gets good on the Austrian flag punch, almost knocking out in the south there. Pioneers breaking through in the north. Punch Grenadiers versus conscripts. Heavy assault rifle fire there, bursting towards the conscripts. And there go T-70 in the centre, going to leave losing their cover to the T-70. Panzer class goes off. Now nasty hit there, but not too nasty either. Shock was good to go again. Field gun number 2 arriving here for Frost, and again he's basically just buying time for the IS-2. But problem is there's still a lot of time to go, and again Price is just sort of using his resources more efficiently, whereas again Frost is just doing nothing with it. I mean, he can easily at this point afford Nation 6 and still have resources for the IS-2 once it hit, but the IS-2 would know the Nation 6, for example, quickly help him get towards it, would help us the vehicles, we'll provide him with more artillery as well. So I mean, I think a better choice there in theory. Telemines down the south there, interesting move there by Price. Trying to, I think, sort of cover it against the Rasper from the T-70, preparing him in this case getting spotted, but still, I like the idea though, I like the idea. Mines here as well from Frost's Burden Engineers. He's going to try to catch the Pioneers, not quite succeeding. Oh, I think he's actually spotted the mountain trying to deal with it, but he quite forgot where it actually was. And so it's just hitting the ground right next to it. Tries to grenade it, hits his own men. And then he hits the Telemine anyways. Oh dear. He thought the church was safe. Yes, we have fired at the ground visibly a lot. Have you brought any minesweepers? No! Drive! Boom. So that ended up a bit awkwardly there for Frost. I think again his shock was actually managed to kill one of his own. Oh dear. So that was ended up with some very disruptive Pioneers there, doing a lot of damage to Frost. Mortar closing in eventually free there. Pioneers taking losses to try to fix up the Ostwind. Of course, I mean, you know, had the game sort of simulated things a lot more accurately, of course, that Ostwind crew would have been dead, or at least the ones in the turret, because, you know, there's no top on it. We got here tactical movement. We're up now to 3 abilities there from Price out of his doctrine. Conversely, we haven't actually seen much there from Frost. I mean, we got the shock tools, we got no anti-tank gun ambush, for example, being utilized. There you go. Just a full halt sprinting northwards to deal with Frost. And note by where the path is moving up there, he's basically trying to sit up there and cut off the retreat path and that way wipe them. Panther 4 they're running for Price, but Frost is quickly being a lot of map control here. Dealing or laying down more mines to further try and slow down any fascist movement. But there you go. Nice move there by Price. A lot of Germans, a lot of veterans in there. You go. He's going to wipe it. That was definitely an interesting use of tactical movement. I don't think most players would expect that. Bit blobby though, but in theory again I can see why it would do it here. Basically increase his chance of just wiping you in retreat. In which case that's all of a sudden 40 munitions well spent. More constant away there for Frost. Continuing up here taking the base. Panther almost done there. Go machine gun bank and keeping that side clear. I mean, Frost still got a lot of the map there, but again, he's just holding back so many resources. So much is sort of nothing happening. It's just giving Price more time to use resources more efficiently, and that way, again, do damage to Frost. There's definitely a dangerous game here. Frost is playing very dangerous. I mean, basically a case of Fuhrer syndrome here, and again, he's got so much fuel. So, I mean, he could have even gone for something, you know, and he really would have been hurt. And at this rate, he could almost have 2 S-26s up to support his men, or, you know, T-70s, and, you know, he wouldn't have hurt his chances of having a an IS-2 out once he hit the 13 command points. And there you go. Now just needs a bit of manpower to get it out, but still, he's quite far behind there. 9 goes off there, Panzer's there, almost knocked out. That was a longer match, and from analysis, shock was being dealt with by Grenadiers, unleashing the ambush camouflage. Doesn't hurt that they're eventually free. Smoke's been off that line, the shock just get closer here. Grenade, and oh, nice work there. Got the Osprey arriving, and saves the Grenadiers there just in the nick of time. We got the Panther dealing with the maximum there. Freshly called in there by Frost. Osprey taking into them, 4 kills there. Could get a wipe, they could get a wipe, that's going to hurt Frost quite a bit. There we go, shock was wiped. Maxim wiped as well. Wow. Bad lucky, but there you go, he gets the Osprey with the field guns. Getting a bit of vengeance there, and at the same time calls up the IS-2 here. The Yosef Stalin 2 tank with a 122mm gun. Designed for blowing up fortifications and bunkers. Dug in infantry. Not much for armoured warfare. Though of course it could still be utilised, it just wasn't the primary purpose of the heavy tank, the IS-2. Also, fun fact, they had a machine gun at the back of the turret, which is a feature a lot of Soviet heavy tanks had, including the K1 tank, for example. Shoots, misses. It also had a pin-up machine gun, which was actually a rare sort of thing for certain tanks having. The end was mostly just the heavier stuff. Medium tanks, for example, did not have pin-up machine guns. That's actually the first time they really, I think, got around to adding with the T-55 tank. By the time of the Cold War. Still adding the Duska there. On top of that, add some more firepower there to Frost's heavy tank. Certainly gives Price a bit of flexibility, with of course he's got one Stu, and he could easily follow up with another Stu if he wanted to. Constantly engaged in the north of the Panzer IV, rolling in. No pin-up machine gun for that. Panzerkampfwagen there, it seems. It's also added another Grenadier squad. They're up to 4 now. Most of them actually upgraded with ambush camouflage. In fact, most of it, what he can upgrade with ambush camouflage has been upgraded with ambush camouflage. That's actually a bit of a rare sight to see as well. Most players again will maybe upgrade the machine guns and their Panzer Grenadiers, otherwise they, not going to upgrade their Grenadiers. So that's an interesting start there from Price. Stu getting it to one, got the odds to move northwards here. Field gun supporting. Stu there could be a bit of trouble if he's not careful. Push for the centre as well, gun is being engaged. IS-2 missed there, takes a penetrating hit from the Stu 3G. MB-42 they're covering up as well. And passes they're bringing through the centre with support there from Grenadiers. IS-2 falling slightly back, their field guns go up there. Panzer 14 with engineers up north, constantly to retreat as well. Ambush machine gun there, proving quite useful. We got another bit of tactical movement there from Price as it pushes towards the centre there, trying to hit here. Frost exposed support, but of course got nothing there covering them. The only thing in this case that's saving the field gun and the mortar is probably the mine there. It's a good work there by Frost. Up north, the IS-2 goes for the Panzer IV, taking it down to half health in a couple of shots.
The enemy has cut off a sector.
Got the IS-2 there rolling back. Stu there taking hits from the field gun. He's even using tracking here. Good work by Frost. It's a rather unusual ability. He's almost got it. Grenadiers under fire from the IS-2. Didn't quite land a good hit. There we go. Engineers moving up as well. There we go. Almost popped the Grenadier squad. Stu firing. Need to pull back the IS-2 there for repairs. I want to get another Engineer squad to help repair the IS-2 heavy tank there. At the same time, Grenadiers holding off the CoH2 on there quite nicely. Need to get some troops to counterattack that. Maybe some shock troopers. A lot of things going on here for Frost. Looks like going to try and pursue the IS-2 here. Actually, he's using ambush camouflage on the field gun. Nice work there to Frost, so that means he's up to 2 abilities using there. From the Doctrine and Price still at 3. Back at Price's base, we've got nothing further going on, just healing reinforcement. We've got another Shug on the way that help further deal with the IS-2 heavy tank. And he's still got a ton of resources, he could still take up. In this case, they immediately goes for a KV-8 to support here, help deal with infantry. Not a bad idea there, not a bad idea. Eventually he's going to have to take up this, bring out some more armor to support the IS-2. I would certainly recommend some T-34 76s. Another KV-8 they arrived.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture
By this point in the war,
territory.
they'd really been using T-34s modified with flamethrowers. Basically, they'd stick in, replace the whole machine gun with a flamethrower. KV-8 they're rolling about looking for targets to scorch. As they're being caught by the flamethrower, burning up here horribly. And it is slightly falling back up north here. IS-2 being repaired, could try and break through here with infantry support. KV-8 continues, Gunners there being got the Stu rushing down, no Stu rushing down, but he's got Betty 2 here. Also target weak front obviously, but should snapping at it, there you go. Good hits from the KV-8, but there you go, field gun supporting, keeping it covered. Also, any KV tanks really that have been utilised by this point, what this 1944-45 would have been the KV-85, which was basically a KV tank with a bigger turret and an 85mm gun, basically sort of the KV version of the T-34-85. That's purpose the IS-2 up north here, getting some nasty hits there, north open there, so Frost could basically grab a lot of the territory there. Stu going in here, figuring he's about. 45mm gun, they're being turned the Stu. Both shots bounce here, off each other. MB-42 there getting its cover blasted to bits. Trying to deal with the Stuke. The Stuke is actually outmaneuvering the Field Gun so points. There you go. Almost got it. Almost got it. Pretty bad news there for Frost losing the KV8 like this. IS-2 moving down. And again, he's just dodging the field gun there. He's dodging the field gun. And it's tank grenade off there. We've got damage in the end. These two could lose it here, could lose it here. Going to be loss of price. And the third Panzer Grenadier Division. And there you go. The IS-2. No, not the Stuke goes down to the field gun. There you go. IS-2 close to Bet 21 nonetheless. Panzer IV in a bit of trouble. We've got the Stuke there back at base being repaired. We've got German infantry rushing forwards. Got the Panzer IV flank behind the IS-2. Bombardment here to deal with the blob, or at least keeps them contained. Panzer IV off the IS-2, damaging it. Good hit there from the field gun, gets several grenadiers. Machine gun here will be good for Frost with some shock troopers. There we go, excellent hit from the IS-2. Wipes the Panzer Grenadiers. Bit of a loss there. Got another KV out here for Frost to deal with the infantry. Still no tech up there from Frost, bit dangerous longer term. I think you're better off, trying to aim for T-34s with the well. There we go, getting blasted again out of the cover there by the IS-2, and it's 122 with the gun. Almost got it, we got Vexit 1 here for the IS-2, KV8 number 2 arriving. And back here, healing reinforcement going on for Frost, and the third mechanized corps. We got the Stuke moving ahead here, but there we go, field gun ready to deal with it. Blast the IS-2, shot bounces. IS-2 gets a good penetration there against the IS-2, shot bounces again there against the IS-2's thick frontal armour. Quickly turns on the Panzer IV. Another bouncing shot there from the Stuke against the IS-2's thick armour. In game wise, but in terms of statistics, the IS-2 actually has the same armour as the KV or the King Tiger. In the actual war, I think the King Tiger there had the advantage actually. That's another story. Got the KV charging into the base. Can't do as much against base buildings. At one point in the game, they could actually. It wasn't unconscious. So players just win the game. Rushing in a KV8 into the base and just burning him down in second before he could react. That was quite nasty. Perhaps looking for some infantry, but in this case though, quick find those surrounded. In this case though, Price goes a bit too easy off here on the Panzerfaust, which ensures that the K can get away without a damaged engine. IS-2 prepared again. Stuke, Panzer IV hot in pursuit. Stuke barely halfway to the fleet. KV8 is trying to desperately get out of the burning pioneer as it goes. Quickly, Petrov! Get out of here, but burn those fascists as well.
We are losing
Burn them,
supplies
good.
to the enemy.
Stuke desperately trying to get out of there. Panzer IV going to get a damaged engine up north here. Ponting secured. Digging in here. Grenadiers attacking. Price certainly under a lot of pressure here from Frost. Needs to try and flank him somehow. Frost also got plenty of munitions. Can consider some mines in there. Further on, a bit more aggressive position there. Got his army moving south to deal with the pioneers there, but also trying to deal with the army. Got another Stuke on the way from Price. There you go, pioneers being burned horribly there by the KV8. Could see a wipe, could see a wipe. That's not going to be a wipe, yeah.
Is encroaching on our territory.
And so, no. It's like, never mind. Pioneers. They count down the pioneers. Another Stuke on the way. We got fighting around the centre. Country which posted with M22. Anti-air gun police ground munitions. Country just taken by the fuel point. And we got an incendiary barrage off here from Price.
Supply lines have been cut.
On the MD42 in the centre. And now both have approximately used the same amount of the docks. Actually, Frost has now used more of the docks than Price has. In fact, he's got full bingo. Shock troops, ambush tactics, incendiary barrage, KV8, and the IS-2. There you go, so hits on the IS-2. Needs to be careful there, moving about too recklessly there. He actually now needs to get away there. Stuke gains veteranly fleet. It's now an ace. One of Germany's heroes. Perhaps they need to get away though. They are about to die horribly. From something, anything really. And Frost, I think, still needs to take up here. Stuke in actual good condition moves ahead here. Conscripts retreating there. KV8 needs to get out. Needs to get the field gun out there to support.
The sector is at risk.
They need to get the IS-2 far away from the front line. Oh, hits a mine there. Panzer IV hits a mine. Field gun's going to turn about there, try and maybe deal with it. He's in when we hit the IS-2. He's really keen on getting it. Bit risky though, bit risky. But no, decides not to. Perhaps fearing there might be a Stuke waiting, in which case there is actually. The Stuke gauge charges forward. It's ace cool, ready to deflect any Russians and burn them to bits inside their tanks. There we go though, Vetch 2 on the field gun here, almost taking out the Stuke there pretty rapidly. K8 force fall back. Almost got it there, pretty close, pretty close. Ice 2 being repaired. Still no take up from Frost for any additional vehicles or armour. Even repair Mission 6 I think for a lot for him. Bombardment on the info 2 in the centre. Grenadiers charging in, constantly retreating out of there. No smoke screen or just any sort of specific barrage there. Victory point rival, we got a big fat lead there for Frost over Price. 4 Pioneers for Price to help repair his armour.
We are losing territory.
Grabbing the northern munitions here, troops reinforcing and healing. K8 pulling back further on. Ice 2 closing in on Veteran D2, increased range and accuracy. There you go, Panther 1 straight ahead. Strange hit, takes a great hit there. Veteran 2 for the Panther 4, increased armour. And a quick blitzkrieg there to realise he's a pretty bad position. So good hit there, almost got the Panther 4. And almost hit Veteran D2 there. I need to repair the Ice 2 a bit more. Finally, by the way, Frost decides to take up, going there for the mechanised armour company. I do think he brought sooner. He could have maybe done some more effectual damage there versus Price long term. Particularly, he would have had something a bit extra there, useful versus the Stoogs. The K8, not so good there. And the Stoogs are a definite threat here to Frost's armoured forces. That's definitely something they should keep in mind.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
Grabbing northern fuel while losing northern victory point. There we go. KVH turn finally to get repaired, to get fixed up. The ice heading northwards. And we got Consular versus Grenadiers trying to flank him with an up full success. And Ice 2 rode straight ahead there, the Pack 40. Could have let in on the smoke around him. He should have had an idea there was a pack there. Of course, smoke getting out and creating for firing. He's still pumping in any barrage now. Ice 2 that takes heavy damage there from all the Stooks plus the Pack 40. Quickly cutting it down there. Field gun though is ready here in ambush. There gets a good hit in the Stook 3 as it rushes forward. Pretty reckless there by Price. To be honest, he's almost lost the Betty 3 Stook. There's really intent to get him. Got Betty 2 there for the Ice 2 though. Increasing range and accuracy. That's bad news there by the way for Price in particular, since of course allows them to hit Betty 3, which becomes faster and seeds faster. Stook there. Pretty close here. Field gun's opening up. He almost lost the Stook there. In fact, he almost lost both Stooks. Price got kind of lucky there. Need to fix up the Ice 2 there again. That's going to require a lot of his engineers. He's got, by the way, Price has got 4 Pioneers that repair stuff as well. The Panther was good to go again. So, increasingly, a lot of Price's forces just there to repair his things and keep his armors rolling. In that regard, just having 4 Pioneers is actually a pretty good idea because it ensures the downtime for his army is actually quite minimal, allowing him to quickly get it back in the fight there. So overall, having a lot of engineers, for example, is pretty good. That also, of course, ensures that Frost's Ice 2 is never off the field for long either. So, I mean, that's actually good there. I've seen so many players just, have a single Pioneer engineer unit just to repair stuff when they really need a lot more, in particular for the stuff with more health, so to quickly get it back in the fight there. I mean, the more your armor's just sitting about doing nothing, the less useful it is. Smoke screen the axe to cover up there, not bad. In this case, got rushed off by Grenadiers. North Panther dealing with the country there, harassing and sneaking about. And there you go, Ice 2 more or less good to go. He's going for a Katyusha now to deal with some support weapons. Not a bad idea as such. But again, he's got the mortar. He could just go for another mortar instead. Maybe, go for a T-34 from 6. That way form up, an armoured element to work with the Ice 2. Got the Ice 2, they're heading northwards. Sandbags in the centre. Flare off. Got the H Stook moving ahead and they got the Ice 2 moving straight. So there goes shoots. Penetrates, so does the Stook though. But the Stook of course has a lot less health than the Ice 2. And they're going for 2 pretty much sorts everything there. Smoke screen could work out on the machine gun, multiplying on the Pack 40. Got a Katyusha barrage instead here. Some decent hits there. Almost got him there. Oh, he's got a command bunker. That's actually what was hiding there. So this is something. He's actually hitting a command bunker right there. So behind the ruins, you might actually not notice it unless you're specifically looking for it. You just sort of happen to realise what's going on. That's actually a nice setup there by Price. That's actually pretty clever. Also, fun fact about Katyusha, they're organised into Gart mortar battalions. This would confuse the enemy.
Supply sector under attack.
We got their shots bouncing off the IS-2, but also some penetrating. Field and supporting there. We got the KV-8 trying to flank in behind here. They're running straight to the back 40. It's a good start fire attack. Oh, he doesn't have an issue with target weak point. IS-2 the fall back. He's really damaged. Got a rough grenade off from the mortar. IS-2 they're dealing with the grenadiers. And the KV-8 goes down. Completely focused down here by heavy anti-tank fire from Price. And engineers need to get back there working on the IS-2.
Katyusha, ready. The new men have arrived.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Grabbing the southern victory point. And he's going for an HD5, not a half-back choice here. They still think T-54s would home better. More useful than flanking all of this, in particular with the H2s out. The problem is they can then quickly deal with the HD5. Unless Price makes a big mistake, because the T-54s, they just flank the Stug. It's not, doesn't matter how veteran they are, they're going to die. Plus, also a bit more useful with some of the infantry. So I really think Frost should just A, gone for T-34s, but also B, gone for them a lot sooner. Less, you know, KV-8s and Katyushas, more T-34s fast to support the IS-2. Even before he gets out of T-34, at least have one T-34 out. Price does gain control of the victory points. We've got the H-85 medium tanks throughout here. Got the IS-2 going southwards. There we go. Pioneers in the fire. At least in theory. Grenadiers attacking as well here. He turns the gun and poor Müller there blown to bits. And he's right there.
The enemy has killed another
Got the
infantry
shooting
squad.
down there. Actually, IS-2 that's a bit unsupported, but there you go. H5 moving down. IS-2 pulls back.
Only 200 points remain.
And Pioneers still almost right with the IS-2. 18 kills there for the motherland. Still they're opening up. The IS-2 gets a penetrating. They got the H5 moving in. Shoots, gets. No, misses the Stug 3G. IS-2 moves up and there you go. Takes the Stug down to half health. And good use of actually the focus sight there to also spot for the IS-2. Is under fire from the IS-2. Pack 4 there gets a good hit. Incendiary artillery called in on the machine gun, not on the Pack 40, which is a bigger threat to his IS-2. Yeah, of course, he's planning on using the Katyusha to deal with that one. Machine gun being pushed away. Katyusha fire off there. He's firing at the Pack 40. There we go. Wiped half the crew, but it's not quite dead yet. He's forcing it back. IS-2 advancing. Almost got it there. Almost got it. Wrecks some wreckage instead with the IS-2's main gun. Now halfway to victory 3 by the way, but still down to half health. He can calculate all the switches about, and there go several hits. And there go, thanks to the command bank of the Pack 40, can quickly get reinforced. Consequently, get the H5 supporting it to get the field guns up this well to push back the Stugs. Comes the thing with the Pioneers, also got the artillery here. Smokescreen from the mortar would be pretty great. Set the mortars all the way back to the base there, so that's not quite happening up there. Field guns set up, they're ambushing ahead there. Stupid there. Ah, knocking out the H5 in a matter of moments. The field guns were too slow there.
The enemy has destroyed one of our vehicles.
But he's now got 2 veteran 3 field guns. But still, that did not work out very well there for the H-35. Price's elite Stug crews there took it out. In fact, he's almost got 2 veteran 3 Stug 3s. Frost in the hand is also close to the veteran 3 IS-2. He's bringing up a second Katyusha though. Can't help but forget, you know, he's kind of getting too caught up in trying to burst through. I think he might be suffering from tunnel vision. I mean, he's not trying to, say, outmaneuver Price and try and catch him off guard. He's just trying to bash through here, through the centre with raw, unrelenting force. And in that regard, again, Price is sort of preparing for that. Again, the command bank here is a really vital asset for such a defence because, again, it allows him to reinforce his support weapons, so they just easily get, you know, torn down. It gives him a lot more durability at the front. And I think he's actually spotted now. He's realised, hey, hang on, the fascists, they're cheating. They can reinforce from the front. Even use their tracking, not bad. But there we go. Get to see that issue here for Frost. He left his support weapons in the centre unguarded. Gave it away there with the field gun. Maybe he's trying to catch it with the Katyusha. The problem is, though, tactical movement here, just easily outmaneuvers that, clears out his veteranly free field gun, leaving Frost in active precarious situation since now he's just down to one field gun and the IS-2 against several veteran troops and the Panzer IV here. Good choose that all does heavy critical damage there to Frost or Price's Grenadiers there, getting quite a few kills in. Still, this is not looking too good for Frost. That was a critical loss there. That was a critical loss. And there you go. He's actually using the Grenadiers to spot ahead there for the Stooks. He's hiding them in the crates, making use of ambush camouflage. And then basically opening up, they're realizing, okay, the coast is clear. Send in the Stooks. Forwards. And there you go. Frost rushes in there. There's two Stooks. Target big point. Target's a big point. Not. Panzer IV hanging back. They could easily, I think, try and move force through. Of course, need to clear some of the mine there. But, I mean, a pretty good flank here could be, I think, quite devastating against Frost. Trying to wreck the mortar here. And there we go. Annihilates another Frost support weapons. Now leaving them only with the CoH2s. And they can't lay down smoke.
We are down to 100.
But the IS-2 is getting close. That's Veteran 3 is getting close. Sneak in here. But there you go. Panzer IV reacting to it. And MB42 there for support with the command bunker is still very much difficult to deal with obstacle there for Frost. Again, very cleverly hidden there by Price, very cleverly hidden. Gotta give him credit for that. But there you go, Stooks going in there, going after the IS-2 there. I mean, Price would have benefited himself from a mortar to help deal with the support weapons as well, to be honest though. And there's a lot they improved on. We can see Frost finally calling in some more shock troopers. Kranz goes pinned down, we got Katusha fire here though. Straight on the MB42 again. And again he just keeps reinforcing. Just keeps reinforcing. Although there we go, the command bunker is down, he's forced to retreat the MB42. And the MB42 gets wiped. Panzer IV hanging back, Stuke there being repaired, other Stuke coming up, still gun back forward here. Machine gun wiped here by Frost's veteran IS-2 crew there. IS-2. And the Pack 40 there's the next target to feel the wrath of Frost. Crew annihilated by the IS-2. It's probably going to try and wreck the Pack crew there as well. The Pack as well tonight to Price. We got tactical movement, they're rushing forward with the Grenadiers. Charging straight at him. Stuke's moving in as well. We got both attacking, we got the Panzer IV moving in. We got a big, it's an assault here from Price. Looks like he's trying to pull off a backhand blow there against Frost. As Frost pushes forward there, he pulls all in there to counterattack him in the assault there with tactical advance completely catching Frost off guard there. Mine goes off, damaging the Indian's eyes to his gains. Finally, eventually fit, but the problem is he can't build enough distance. Now the Stooks get up close. They're opening up with their main guns and the Panzer IV joins in. Both Barway Stooks are now veteranly free, and with that, I think it's GG. One hell of an assault there from Price, completely wrecked Frost there. Now it's going straight into the base here.
Protect our HQ.
Two veteranly free Stooks. And there you go, Frost surrenders. A brutal fight here, using two of the original doctrines. Old school fighting here. IS-2s, Stooks, and Panzer IVs. I mean, Frost, really should have had a good early game. The problem was, again, he got two folks in the centre there. Didn't utilise, I think, smoke enough to try and manoeuvre around better on the battlefield, but also failed to attack, from the north, try and flank behind Price. Instead, he just got too concerned with here. And he also, I think, went for too many KVH. I even wonder if he should have gone for them, just trying to take up fast for T-34s, and that way, support the IS-2 much more better and much more fluidly. I think had he done that, it would have, I think, done a lot better versus Price. Price could have benefited from a mortar himself, maybe some more flanks himself, but overall I think he made good use of abilities. And I think definitely sort of the last assault there caught Frost completely off guard. Well played there, and also good manoeuvre here with the command bunker, and also great use of ambush overall there. So there you go, hope you enjoyed today's match. If you did, why not subscribe, tell a friend, share it with everyone. If not, send in a return or some feedback in the comment section. If you enjoy what I do on a daily basis, do consider donating. Links are in the video description. Would certainly help me out quite a bit there, so do consider. This is Imperial Dane signing off, and see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Cheers.